We've really been blessed here at the Combat Air Museum with our volunteers, and the things that they do are just absolutely phenomenal. And with this place, the Combat Air Museum wouldn't operate without volunteers. If we didn't have volunteers, I can tell you the doors would have to close tomorrow. So there's always a job for somebody at the Combat Air Museum. Now they might have to start sweeping floors or maybe even help clean a restroom or something, but as they get to know people, they can work their way up or work on projects. And as I've said before, it is a labor of love out here. People come here because they like the Air Museum and they really enjoy it. And you know what, it's a lot of camaraderie here.
Well, I joined the museum several years ago before I retired, and I helped with fundraisers on weekends and stuff like that, and air shows when we were doing them. And when I retired, I brought my tools out here and then just started doing whatever needed to be done. Everything I do out here is volunteer. I spend about 12 to 20 hours a week out here. I just come out here to stay busy.
I do the kids education program. We teach the kids aerodynamic structures of airplanes and give them a really good sound grounding in aviation 4 times a year, spring break and 3 summer vacation classes. And I think they have a really good time.
I've never had anybody come into this museum that didn't love it. Now they're really kind of surprised. It doesn't have a lot from the outside, but when you get inside this museum, between the 2 hangars, there's a lot of airplanes and a lot of things for people to see. So the visitors all enjoy this museum. It is, like they say, one of the best kept secrets here in Topeka.
I was in the United States Air Force Strategic Air Command and got involved with the museum through my love of aviation, and we're in the process of restoring this aircraft, which is an EC-121T, which is the early version of today's AWACS aircraft.
I was in the United States Air Force. I was a JAG officer in Lowry Air Force Base, Colorado. I've been involved with the museum for about 20 years. I flew as a pilot, and so that's a natural attraction to come to an air museum and volunteer, at least something in the community that which you have an interest in.
Well, I was never really into aviation at all. The Navy decided I was going to an aircraft carrier, and that's how I got there. One day I came out here to the museum and they said, you know, we got a model that we're building of your ship. And so I volunteered.
You don't have to be a military person to be a part of this. I got interested because I always had an interest in aviation because my uncle was a fighter pilot in the South Pacific in World War II, and he flew with the famous 49th Fighter Group. When he would come home, he'd bring us little helmets and stuff, and he lived at our house, and we were so proud of our uncle. And I've just had a love for aviation ever since I was 3 or 4 and 5 years old, you know. It's just been something I've done all my life. And so I worked in the aircraft industry for 6 years, worked with Boeing Airplane Company, and I've always been around the aviation industry, and this kind of work is not work to me. It's fun, and we were always told people should do something in life that's fun, that they enjoy doing, and there's lots of opportunity for you, and work will never be work, it'll always be fun. So that's what I think that's the way it is with our volunteers here at the Combat Air Museum, that when I say it's a labor of love, I think, you know, they really buy into this organization and they're part of it, and that's the way we want it. And I tell my people, I say, are you for real or are you baloney? And obviously we get a lot of people who are for real.